How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. And in my hand, I have the Xperia 5 Mark II. And I think this is one of the most underrated smartphone that came out this year. And this is probably Sony's best smartphone out right now. It has all the bells and whistles for this to actually excel and be one of the best smartphones out. But there's just something on it, there's just something about it that I couldn't place my finger on. And every time I use it, I'm just like, I really like this device, but is it good enough for me to recommend? Whether it's pricing, whether it's functionality, and little things here and there versus what else is on the market, the competitors right now. But it's still a great device nonetheless. It got me thinking about brands when they fall off, so-called fall off, and then you just stop getting interested, you stop being interested rather in their devices for a while, and then they release that product that brings you back and you think, actually, I like you guys again. iPhone did that for me with the iPhone 4S. Was probably the last iPhone device that I really liked, I really enjoyed using, and then it kind of fell off in my opinion, and then the iPhone 12 came out, and then I'm back all over it because it just gives me that design that I want, the user experience that I want again, and it was just there. So the Xperia 5 Mark II is almost like the prodigal son, prodigal child has just returned, and but it just makes me still question the fact that, wait, is it too late for Sony, or what are they actually doing wrong? Why aren't people shouting about this device in particular, rather the way they would your likes of Samsung Galaxy FE or like OnePlus 8 device or whatever? What is it that's just setting them a little bit back? But I hope this is a comeback for them though, in the sense that the next device that we see, I hope they learn a lot from this particular device, because when it comes to size, functionality, the camera quality, battery life, display, all that stuff, I think they just nailed it, but it might just be too late. Let's dig in deeper and see what the review's about. Some specs out the way. It has all the things we expect from a flagship device. So you have 120Hz refresh rate with its 6.1-inch OLED screen with 1080 by 2520 resolution. You have a USB-C port. It has 3.5mm headphone port, something that's hard to combat these days. Most flagship devices just ditch that. So having that on there is actually quite refreshing. It's good to have on there as an alternative to just having to buy a wireless pair of headphones or plugging in a USB-C adapter for that matter. You also have IP68 water and dust resistant. You have a triple 12 megapixel camera with all the essentials, so wide angle telephoto, which is 3x optical zoom, and ultra wide angle camera lens there as well, which I use a lot for architecture photography. In fact, the camera is great at taking photos. I actually love my time with it, and videos as well. You have HDR processing in there, which is quite cool. You got 4000 mAh battery with 21 watt fast charging. There's no wireless charging though. Everything is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 865, which is powerful. It has 8 gig of RAM, and you can opt for 128 gig of internal storage or 256 if you prefer. And you even get 5G, which is what everyone's shouting about these days. 5G, 5G, 5G. How important that is to you is entirely your preference. It might be something you don't get where you live, but I get it where I am, especially London. So again, 5G becomes part of my daily routine. It becomes part of me, of my usage rather, so it's good to have that on my smartphone. There's so much I love about the Xperia 5 Mark II. I love how it feels to hold in hand with that 21:9 aspect ratio as well, which is great for browsing social media. You get endless amount of screen to scroll and stuff. You get more real estate to view stuff in portrait mode, basically. It almost feels like the last of a dying breed with that 21:9 aspect ratio. Not many smartphones out. I can't even think of one actually with 21:9 aspect ratio that is in Sony, so it's actually quite good that they've kept that going. I was also impressed with its camera output, whether it's video or stills. You even get some extras for video shoots like Cinema Pro app, which allows us to shoot better video, maybe by controlling more of what you actually shoot. So like, some of the manual settings that you can do on DSLR cameras. You also get Pro Photo app as well, so if you want to do the same, it puts you right in the director's chair, so you can have complete control over the output of your photography or videos. The interface looks like what you'd get when you use a Sony camera. So if you use a Sony DSLR camera like I do, this is a Sony a7S III, you get that sort of the same user interface. So if you're used to that already, you just jump right in and you know what you're doing. Its OLED display is one of the best I've used, although the resolution could be higher. You still get all the Sony bloatware on there, which it's annoying, but some are useful now compared to before. Side sense is still there, although again, in my opinion, it's useless. I don't really use it. In fact, sometimes it's quite annoying. You get all the fundamental features, which aren't the issue for me. Like I said, I'd gladly use it as my daily driver. I'd gladly recommend it to someone else, like in my family, for example, so they won't keep coming back to me about issues with their phone, because it's actually reliable. But my question is it just too late for Sony? Is he what's the problem? What's the issue? Why aren't we talking about these devices, this Xperia 5 Mark II, the way we talk about your Samsung devices or Apple devices out there? There was a time when Sony, the brand name, carried a lot of gravitas. So because they have things like the PlayStation 5, PlayStation console series, they have excellent cameras when it comes to photography and videos as well. I use Sony cameras a lot. Also, they have, at some point, they made great laptops. They have the best noise cancelling headphone on the market right now, arguably, but I think it's one of the best. They make some amazing speakers, turntables if you're into music, and also let's not forget their TVs as well. They have some amazing TVs out on the market. In fact, I use one for my PlayStation 5 because it's got fast refresh rate, it's got HDR, it's got Dolby Atmos, all singing and dancing things that you need to get the best experience, the best visual experience and auditory experience as well. It's all there for you to, that's something that they do very well. So you don't think, where's that ecosystem? Where's that same user experience? Where's that level of products, level of premium when it comes to your smartphones as well? I'd love to see that with Sony. I'd love them for them to have that ecosystem like Huawei does, for example. They've combined everything together for that OnePlus 8 N stuff that they talk about. You've also got Samsung as well lately that's been doing really well with their ecosystem. So whatever Samsung products you have, they all talk to each other, for example. I'd love to see that same experience as well with Sony smartphones in the future going forward. I know you can do some level of, for example, remote play with Sony PlayStation, for example, but that's just minute. That's just some easy parts of it. I want to be able to, again, in the living room, connect my smartphone to my TV very easily with no hiccups. I want to be able to connect to my sound system and so on. That kind of experience I want to see with Sony. What I also love to see Sony do is get that pricing right as well. In the world where we have the likes of the OnePlus, Samsung Galaxy FE, S20 FE, sorry, and some other devices on the market right now that cost not as much as the Xperia 5 Mark II, and still gives you that level of experience that you expect from that sort of price point, like good camera quality, good audio, good display. In fact, some of them have 4K displays and stuff. I would love Sony for Sony to price this right, so it's a lot more attractive, and also put their money where the mouth is. So put some money on the marketing. So market the shit out of it so that it's just amazing, so people see it and see it for what it is. And actually, if you can experience this device, you'd actually understand the fact that I'm saying that I would recommend this and actually use this as my daily driver. It's a fantastic device. It just works really well. After using it for so long, it still functions really well when it comes to speed, performance. There's no hiccups, battery lasts the whole day and then some. Camera quality is good. The software experience is great too. No wireless charging, which I would love to have. You can expand its storage using a micro SD card. Although it does lack it a little when it comes to camera photography in low light situation, as it needs light, especially to focus as well. So it struggles when you're trying to focus in low light situation, and you get blurry images rather than sharp images. But when you do get it right though, the shots look natural. It doesn't have that fake sort of effects that you get on Huawei devices with night shots, for example. The 8 megapixel selfie camera is also really good as well. It's high up there in my list in the sense that it doesn't make me look like a doll or just have an airbrush my face out, for example. It just still looks natural, well lit as well, looks really good, something I'll actually share on social media. One thing worth mentioning as well is when you're taking photos as well, there's a slight shutter lag as well, so when you press it, you don't have to wait for the shot to be taken. I'd love that to be sped up as well. I believe this is something that Sony could change or tweak using software upgrades and whatnot. To summarize, if you want a device that's got a minimalist sort of design looking, although attracts lots of fingerprint, if you want something that's got 3.5mm headphone jack, 120Hz refresh rate, good battery life, really good camera, then you should look at the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II. But if you want something that's got a higher resolution display, for example, with maybe like a 4K, 2K display, Quad HD Plus display, whatever, you should probably look elsewhere. If you need something that's got a slightly bigger battery for the price point, look elsewhere as well. If you're looking for wireless charging, again, look elsewhere. But apart from those things, I can't really fault the device. I think the pricing could be better, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But ultimately, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you have any questions, drop them there as well. But in the meantime, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and hit that bell notification as well. So every time I upload a new video up on the channel, you get to be one of the first to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.